What's up, everyone? Welcome into Anime Plus episode 56. Hopefully you're having an incredible day, whatever day you're listening or perhaps watching this podcast at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Sparky3. Give us a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, be a friend, tell a friend that you're watching or listening. My name is Alex Light with Sparky3. As always, I do have Zach here, as you can see on the screen. Zach, buddy, how you feeling today, my friend?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
Having a good day so far?
Yeah, so far so good.
Right on, man. As you can see, we are still doing things remotely for the time being. We'll see how much longer we will. We'll see before we can get him back in studio. I do have some information on Josh, though. Josh's hiatus will definitely continue. We don't know when it will end. It's work, man. That's all it is. It's work. Got a couple personal things going on at home as well. That's tying up his schedule quite a bit, where he just can't commit the time to watching some anime and reading everything that he's been reading. He's been doing bare bones reading recently, like just hitting up One Piece, and I think that's it. I don't think he's reading anything else right now. He's just been really busy. Okay. So Josh's hiatus will continue. That'll be the last time that I mention it for now until he does come back. We've had some good talks recently. He's going to come back at sometime soon. Once work calms down, hopefully it'll calm down sometime soon. From the most recent update, it doesn't sound like it's going to be soon. From the most recent update, but we'll see. We'll get him back on the show and we'll have a great time, and hopefully on video too. We're working out the video stuff, but Josh, your internet sucks. Get better internet so we can do video with you.
Yeah, that would definitely help.
Yeah, get better internet, bump up those gigs, baby, and we'll definitely get you on here. We'd appreciate that. We'd also appreciate a follow over at Twitter at Anime Podcast. You can always check out other shows like Loudhearted Gamers, Terrible Football Show, talking about movies and stuff. And lastly, if you want to support us further, the Patreon is a great way to do so, but don't feel obligated. Just be a friend, tell a friend that you're watching and listening. We'd appreciate that and call it good. Shout out to Andy, our Tier 1 patron. We appreciate the hell out of you. With all that said, first thing that I want to shout out to the fact that I totally forgot what day of the month it is, because I forgot about the Rocky IV director's cut. I wanted to go see that. John and I both did, so we could review it on talking about movies and stuff. And you want to know how I was reminded? I was reminded from a movie TV reviewer that I follow. I saw his tweet about it, and what kills me that I forgot what day of the month it was, that it was coming out, and what I even lost track of what day it actually was for myself. His tweet was talking about how incredible it was. He's just like, for a director's cut, this really takes it above and beyond where it really stands out. And I'm like, damn it. It's like, I hated reading that, because I'm just like, damn, I have now, how long do I have to wait before I can watch this?
Because it was only airing in theaters for like that one night, right?
One day. Yeah. And like I said, apparently it's not like your normal sort of director's cut where it'll add like a couple of things, and it's where it's one of those things where it's like not really noticeable. In this case, it was noticeable, where it almost feels like a different movie in a way, and just adds so much more to the movie. And I'm just like, damn it, I can't believe I forgot that. Man, I love the Rocky movies. So very disappointing there. We'll follow back up and hopefully talk about that on Talking About Movies and stuff, as well as the Eternals. Hopefully we can go see the Eternals sometime soon. Don't know when. I got a very busy slate here in the near future, so hopefully we can go see Eternals as well and talk about that. And I know Hawkeye on Disney Plus is coming out soon, and I'm very looking forward to watching that as well.
That's supposed to be, what, a short series?
Yeah, 6 episodes. Yeah, 6 episodes, like Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki. They were both 6. WandaVision was the only one that was 9. Also, shout out to the fact that WandaVision is getting its own little spin-off with Agatha. Agatha's getting her own show. Agatha, the House of Heart. Yeah, just got announced today, as well as a bunch of other shows. So that was actually pretty exciting. Zach, you got anything on your mind that's been going on you want to chat about?
No, not particularly, because, besides our usual stuff, the only thing I've been doing is I've been rewatching Lock Horizon this week.
Oh, how's that been going?
It's been going good. It's weird considering that seasons 1 and 3 are on Funimation, which I've been using for that. But season 2, I can only get on either Crunchyroll or Hulu, but neither of those have season 1 or 3.
Oh, that's crap.
Yeah.
Talking about other stuff we've been watching, I did check out the first 4 episodes of Komi Can't Communicate. I very much recommend that to people. It's a cute, fun little watch. I will not lie. You get some good laughs out of it. It is adorable. I will go ahead and say that up front. I do not care. It's a fun little watch, man. I'm enjoying it so far.
Is it just a slice of life, or is it a romance?
Slice of life with some tidbits of romance, but it's definitely more on the slice of life side of things.
Gotcha. Okay.
No, I do think it's actually pretty solid, man. I like how they, how well they highlight the social anxiety aspect of things, because like you'll get like narration where it's talking about not just Comey in particular, but just people with social anxiety as a whole, where it's just like, someone with social anxiety, can't do this or this, and then it'll set up what the scene that it's going to. And plus, I love just the constant on-screen little pieces of text, and they go away so quick too, where it's just like, someone says something, to Comey, and it just pops up very quickly down at the bottom where it's like, Comey is very confused, and it just goes away immediately. Like, just little tidbits like that, man, are just hilarious to me. And man, there are some fucking freaks in this show too. There are some fucking freaks.
I've been noticing that about just newer anime in general. A lot of newer anime are just going straight dark. It's like slow, almost slow, hinting going into like 17 plus area, but not quite 18. Because like one of the other series I've been watching that's been airing this season is the finest assassin reincarnated.
Oh yeah.
In aristocrats.
Yep.
World. And the most recent episode, it focused on this new female character who he more or less recruited or bought into his family, and focused completely on her and her group of friends she lived with, and how they got picked up by thugs and were prostituted for several years.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, no, it went straight the dark.
That did.
And like it literally didn't have the main character showing up to like the last couple minutes of that episode. I was like, fuck.
Oh shit. I've heard it's actually pretty solid so far. That's the general review that I've seen.
It's a good series. It's definitely good, but like this episode, it hits you with the whole human trafficking aspect. I was like, fuck.
Have you checked out the Faraway Paladin? Because that was one that was kind of on my radar.
I have not watched it yet. I'm actually wanting to watch that one just straight because I am very interested in that one.
Yeah, that one's on my radar, and I might check out sometime soon. But I don't know. Do you have Netflix?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't have an active account, but I probably have it.
I hear you. Netflix is one that I'm just bumming off Jimmy just because I don't really use Netflix that much. But if you got the time, I definitely would check out Comey though. It is a fun little watch. It is. And when I say we got some freaks, man, we got some fucking freaks. Episode 3, we get introduced to a character, Agari, and she's just like, she wants to be Comey's pet. Like in a weird way. Like she calls herself she acknowledges that she is Comey's dog, her pet dog. And then she dude, it's weird. Like Comey came up to her, was wanting Comey's, still trying to come out of her shell and, just kind of generally communicate and stuff. And, Agari's just like, oh, Comey, what can I get for you? Do you need a drink? Do you need a massage? Can I lick your feet or whatever? I'm just like, okay, we got a fucking freak in here,
right there on the side.
Yeah. And then the episode 4, we got introduced to like a psycho. It's this one chick, I forgot her name already, but she's like in love with Comey. She wants to date Comey, whatever. And it's to the point where she takes our pro tag, kidnaps him, and locks him in her house all day, and is literally threatening to kill him. She's just like, "What do you prefer, the woods or the ocean?" He's just like, the woods, I guess. She's like, okay, great, that's where I'm gonna bury you. It's just like, oh my god, like full-blown psychopath, man. So I mean, we got some freaks in this show, but it is a fun little watch. I definitely recommend it. But yeah, Faraway Paladin's one that I want to check out sometime soon. I still need to finish the Pirate Princess one. I still need to finish that. I haven't finished it yet, but that one was also a fun watch, about 5 episodes in. Unless you got anything else, we can go ahead and jump into it, I guess.
No, I mean, I'm good.
Okay.
Just watching your camera.
Oh, yeah. Something.
Oh, it may just be for me. I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe some lag for me.
I mean, it looks fine on my end. I see the layout, everything over there. It looks good for me. We both look great on the stream. And that's ultimately what matters. But no, I do feel like this will potentially be a little bit of a quicker episode, because I'll go ahead and start with a couple of shows for me, because they will be very quick hits. I'll start with Demon Slayer. I got nothing to talk about. Like, this was a literal shot for shot from the movie. Like, I pulled the movie up on the other monitor, played it. Nothing was different at all. Like, it was a literal. This episode was Tanjiro's dream. Him getting out of the dream, him starting to fight lower one is the one we're dealing with in this movie.
Yeah.
Him, cutting his throat every time, whatever. Episode ends with Inosuke waking up. Boom. There's the episode breakdown. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Like that's it. This episode was a literal shot for shot. I feel like as we get to the climax of this train arc, that is when we're going to actually start to see those extra scenes they're talking about, especially the Rengoku fight, of course. I do think that fight is going to be a little bit different from the movie. I do think so. But right now, no, there's nothing different. So nothing to talk about there.
Mostly they've been doing this just so they could give more time for Rengoku, and then just to give more time, I guess, from the animate the theater district arc.
Yeah, I think so, personally. I mean, I think I genuinely do. I feel like this was an easy way to not put more work on them, because they may have seen examples of like Dragon Ball Super, which those arcs were terrible in every way. They may have seen that, and they may have also seen the Boruto one, where that arc was phenomenal and pretty lengthy. I mean, it was like maybe 20-ish episodes for the Boruto movie arc. I could be wrong on that episode count, could be a little bit lower, but they probably just like, don't really want to do that. The movie looks beautiful. We'll just cut it in. We'll change a couple scenes. We'll add in some extra music. People won't fucking give a shit, which fair. It is Demon Slayer. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing to talk about on it. I'll still keep watching it week after week, but once something changes, I'll talk about it. My other quick hit is Sakugan, actually. Sakugan, this episode really felt like, it just felt like one of those, traditional one-off episodes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like we necessarily horribly, like, really pushed the plot forward. I mean, obviously, I could be wrong. The stuff they did could come in a massive impact later. I don't feel like it did. All I feel like was the plus here is they got some money out of it, which they do need. They owe Zaklatu like 1 million units, and they're currently fined like potentially 2 million units for being like, criminals. So, that was the only real takeaway. But I mean, the premise of the episode was, at the end of the last episode, they were, picked up again by the bureau. So they were arrested, and basically, the guy, which I do know his name, sort of. Like I said, these names are nightmares. His name is like Miroro. I'm just like, dude, these names are just nightmares in this show. Up front, every name. So they're working with.
It's originally a Japanese series, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a novel out of Japan. So these names are nightmares up front. But he takes them, and he's just like, he shows them like, this big underground forest, whatever, in the labyrinth, of course, and the forest is pretty much dead. It's completely dying out. You see vultures, everything, and then Mimimpa realizes there's no air. Like she, licks her thumb, puts it up in the air, realizes there's no airflow, which that is obviously the problem. There's no oxygen really getting in here, helping keep shit alive, and that's when he shows them. The whole point, Miroro's big thing that he wanted to show them is, hey, there's this giant factory that they call the God of Wind. It just produces a lot of airflow all throughout that area. It's fucked up. Can you fix it? They agree to fix it. They get in like hazmat suits or whatever. Cause I mean, there's like acid potentially coming out of this place and shit. Very high tech facility. And that's all it was Mimimpa was just dead set determined to fix this. Like they, as going through it, Gagamba notices some marker, little flags that markers use. And, that's when Miro is like, yeah, we've hired markers in the past. They died. They didn't make it. He's like, oh, so this is as far as they got. That's unfortunate. And I don't think Miro, I don't think he has any alternate, motives because he went with them. It's not like he sent them in there by himself. So I genuinely think he's just, I do, from a series standpoint, I don't think he's an antagonist. I don't know. I could be wrong. I feel like if he was an antagonist, he wouldn't have gone down there with them. That's my opinion, because it's a pretty dangerous place. In the episode, Mimimpa just kept getting lost over and over again, which confuses her. Then she realizes her little necklace thing, whatever, that shows this map. It actually shows like a map of the full labyrinth almost, because she notices on the jewel when she shines it back up, like she notices different pieces are like moving and everything, and that's when she realizes that's why she was getting lost, is because where they are, the God of Wind it keeps moving. Like, it's like a labyrinth almost. This factory, this facility, this plant, whatever, is like a labyrinth, and platforms and shit, tubes, they keep moving constantly. Once she figures that out, she's able to kind of figure her way around and basically get to the area where the problem was and fixed it. And then she's like, oh, cool, fixed it. There's now airflow coming back into this already dead forest. Maybe we can bring it back. And then Ugamba's just like, okay, that was cool and all, and it's cool that you wanted to save all this, but where's my money? And that was the end of the episode. I mean, it was to me a true one-off. I don't feel like we progress the plot really unless it comes this airflow comes back and helps us later. I don't know, but as of now, it feels like a massive one-off to me. So we'll see what continues to happen. Hey, they got some money out of it, I guess. Well, assuming the episode ended without the Miura just started laughing, so I'm assuming where they're gonna get paid. I don't know.
I'm assuming he's not gonna have money next episode. So
yeah, I mean, basically. But anyway, let's hop over from there. What about Yashahime? Was that a one-off? Did we have anything good going on? Is it progressing the plot, kind of like this season's been doing? How's it going so far? Episode
so far
30, I think.
It seems like it was a one-off. As I mentioned last episode, pretty much the princess character from the last season decided she wanted to escape the castle, so she had ninjas kidnap Setsuna and dress Setsuna up in her clothes before Setsuna could wake up.
Okay.
Yeah, so Setsuna was just chilling in the house where her, Toa, and Kaide live, and literally Toa walks out because Kaide's like, hey, there's something going on, will you go check it out? Okay. Just watch out for Setsuna. Literally after she says that, 3 ninjas show up and take her away. I was like, Kaide, you useless old hag.
Damn.
So, yeah, that happens. Setsuna wakes up to the princess. The princess crocodile tears and convinces her to stay and take her lessons. And then it's an episode focusing on Moroku and Songo's kids.
Ooh, that's been a while since we've kind of given any focus on them.
Yeah,
they didn't get much in season 1.
Not really. I forget all their names right this moment because it has been so long. But they had a son and their 2 daughters, and it turns out the 2 daughters are actually twins. Which it didn't seem like that last time. It seemed like it was the son and one of the daughters were twins, but apparently the 2 daughters are both twins, and then the son was younger. And it mostly focuses on the son because him more or less just how he became a demon slayer, because one of his sisters already followed in their father's footsteps, becoming a nun, and then the other one took a weapon making and blacksmithing, like Songo did.
Okay.
And so it was him watching Kohaku fight a demon and not giving up that made him want to become a demon slayer and follow Kohaku and becoming a demon slayer and all that. And more or less, it just becomes a thing of him telling his story to Setsuna, and then him going and dealing with the demon, because for whatever reason the princess escaped and she naturally went to the area where a demon could possibly show up, so she naturally gets caught by this giant octopus. And then it just becomes Hisui is his name, him going and saving the princess and fighting it, and then both his sisters showing up and also helping fight it. And then them being mischievous because after Hisui saves the princess, they both realize the princess has a thing for him.
Ooh.
And she's just, because the princess straight up just like, I don't want to be taken back in my carriage thing. I want you to take me back. And Hisui being, oh, it's because you want to ride Kirara. And both his sisters being, no, but you need to take her with you. They're pushing the princess on him pretty much, trying to hook their brother up.
That's funny.
And that was it was just a nice little one-off. I think it's a joke to the writers now, because literally Toa realizes Setsuna's gone, and it's even a whole moment of Toa going to Kaide being, where'd Setsuna go? Oh, I don't know. She probably woke up and walked off, and Toa just being, Setsuna! And literally the rest of the episode, it doesn't show her, but her apparently searching for Setsuna for the rest of the episode.
Jesus. And that you said you think that's just like an ongoing joke now with the writers or something?
Yes, because any episode where Toa's not on the same area as Setsuna, it's literally her only lines are Setsuna and her running around looking for Setsuna.
Oh, Jesus. That's annoying.
Yes, but they do it now they just set it off like, well, this is what Toa's now doing, you know what she's doing, we'll just leave it be. And then she eventually finds Setsuna and grabs her. And I'm just like, fuck.
Oh, man.
And then it does have a moment right at the end of Setsuna just being very uncomfortable with still sleeping, seeing as she spent so much time without being able to sleep, where she goes and plays her violin at the Tree of Ages. Now that her and Toa are aware that that's where their mother is being kept, and her in a previous episode sort of realizing that the song she always plays on the violin is the song Ren sort of hummed and sang when they were both still in her belly, which makes no sense to me, but that's apparently Setsuna knew that was the song.
All right, yeah, I'm with you. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, it was a nice little one-shot. We had the little moment at the end with Setsuna and her whole struggle with sleep and stuff like that.
Okay. What was the episode preview? Does it look like you're going to be a promising next episode or another bullshit one?
It's going to be another one-shot following Moroha, but they sort of referenced it in this episode. Because when Toa was starting to look for Setsuna, she was like, why isn't Moroha around? And it's just literally a cave with a bunch of demons running, going, oh no, it's Moroha, the Demon Slayer! And her just went, I just want to ask a question, guys!
That's fantastic. Moroha is the best. She is the best. I love her. Where do we want to go from here? Do we want to hit Takt Op? We want to hit 86? Want to hit Dragon Quest? You want to get Dragon Quest out of the way?
Let's hit Takt Op, because
Okay.
I mean, Takt Op was sort of a one-off too.
It
like
was
a lot of one-offs.
Yeah,
this week.
I was thinking the same thing as I was gearing up for the show. It's like, man, it feels like a lot of just one-off episodes happened. Yeah, because Takt Op to me really felt like a massive one-off episode in my mind, personally. They're just down in New Orleans now, right? And Cosette and Anna was just trying to get like some supplies and stuff, and then you bump into like this in denial older mother who thinks that Anna is like her daughter when it's not. And
yeah, it's literally a thing. They went to get supplies and they end up helping all the old folks.
Yeah. Talk though gets to go play a piano, so that's cool.
Yeah, he naturally finds a jazz club where they secretly have this downstairs soundproofed area where they play music, and then they have a secret locked up piano room with a drum and piano that they can freaking, on the rare chance someone shows up who can play.
Yeah, which also, was it like one or was it just one or a couple of those guys that actually like played with Takt's father as well?
What it looked like, it was only referencing the tuba guy,
okay,
but it looked, at least in the picture that they showed, that some of the older one or two, maybe the older guys also had played at the time. And then we also got a weird shot of him flashbacking when his father died.
Yeah,
him actually seeing both Hell and the head maestro's music art.
Yeah. Perfect convenience, that, like you said, of him finding a jazz club, which also happens to be a jazz club that has members that knew his father. What convenience! What perfect plot convenience!
Well, from what it seems, it actually sort of developed a story that was Takt's father, because it sort of hinted that Takt's father was this big conductor guy, but this really showed that his father was significantly important to the music industry. Anyone part of the music wanted to play with him and whatnot. It seemed like it.
Yeah, true. Because we've gotten some through this is episode 6. The 5 episodes we've gotten so far leading up to this one, we've gotten like some little tidbits of that where it's just like hinting and kind of pointing towards that direction of his dad being like this big shot, basically. Yeah. And this episode continued to kind of push towards that narrative and kind of, in my mind, kind of drove it home a little bit.
And then we also got the head conductor guy learning about Takt and Cosette, and him being like, oh, this is a blessing. I'm gonna go meet him. Yep.
It's a blessing because, it's just like, whatever his dad's name is. I'm drawing a blank. I'm terrible at this. It's just like, oh, his son's still alive. I thought his son perished. I'm gonna go meet him. It's just like, ooh, where's this going? So I don't know. This is gonna be really interesting to me because it really puts a different perspective on just like how much of a massive big shot his father was. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing that explored more, and maybe this head maestro, this head conductor of the symphonic whatever, maybe he can give some more insight for us. So I'm actually pretty excited for that. Hopefully it'll just be the next episode. I'm assuming it'll probably be the next episode they meet, but it could be an episode or two. But either way, I'm excited for that. Talk Op has been a very pleasant surprise. It really has. Especially, since it's just from an anime based on a mobile game, it really has been a very pleasant surprise so far. And I still find it hilarious how we discovered Talk Op to even watch it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's just out of the blue. We're just like, it was like this big announcement. I think Crunchyroll Expo is what it was.
It was Mappa.
Mappa, yeah. Yeah, it was just that Expo, whatever. And it's just like, what is this music anime? And we started watching the trailer, and you're just like, you were watching it by yourself, and you're like, yo, hold on, wait. This animation looks awesome. It's like the music sounds great.
I was about to say, the description of the series isn't the greatest in the world, but the actual trailer was fantastic. Then it was a Mappa project, and not knowing until the first episode came out that it's Mappa and Madhouse working on it.
Yep. Yeah, it really has been a pleasant surprise. It's definitely...
Also, you can always tell which episode who's doing it.
True.
Because Madhouse always gets the action episodes.
True. Which I think is so funny, because that was something that we talked about, with the news right after episode 1, is that, like, episode 2 was going to be done by, I think it was Mappa. Just like, okay, that's going to be very interesting to see the contrast if it's going to go episode to episode. Like, is one going to do evens, one going to do odds, however it's going to be. And yes, it is very noticeable. When Madhouse is doing it, there's a lot of action. Where do we want to jump from here?
I can do Dragon Quest now.
All right, what's going on with your meme?
So, Dragon Quest, this was the realization for Dai that Barum is his father. Regardless of all the shit they've been through, Barum's his father.
So just now on episode 56, this realization comes through.
Yeah, because they had the whole thing of them fighting and Dai being, I can't accept him as my father because he's a villain wanting to destroy humans and whatnot. Then these last couple of episodes of them working together and everything. It initially starts with Pop in the group, of Pop revealing to everyone that they're on a giant bird-shaped ship.
What is this? Yeah. Is this the Divine Beast?
Actually, you're not wrong. It looks like the Divine Beast.
Okay. So we have a Zelda crossover here in Dragon Quest. Okay.
Yeah, this is Barnes' whole castle is this giant bird ship.
Okay.
And them all going, where was that explosion from? Seeing the blown out building, and they're going, it must have been over there. And for some reason, instead of Pop just zooming them to the inside the building, they have to go to the staircase that leads to the door that Barum and Dai destroyed and go through that way for whatever reason.
Right.
I don't know. And they go in there to find pretty much the place is destroyed. They find Dai, they wake Dai up and reveals that Barum defended Dai from the big old explosion using all his Draconic aura to the point that he turned to stone. But not only did he turn to stone, is he still had enough power where he's just been floating this whole time instead of just falling down. And it's not until when Dai comes back to consciousness and he sees that Barum finally runs out of power and his body falls. And for whatever reason, instead of just staying stone, as his power goes away, he also the stone goes away, and he just becomes flesh again. And it's a moment where he's falling and Dai goes to try and catch him and just completely misses and he just flops on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. And him then going, more or less having a moment of, ma'am, heal him. Heal him. And ma'am just going, I can't heal something that doesn't have a spark of life.
Oof.
And Barum naturally still being somewhat alive and being, Dai, don't. I can't be saved. Is that you? I can't see anymore. Is that you? I'm just like, God damn it. Okay. So Dai grabs Barum's hand. He's like, yes, it's me. And him all going on without. And them going, the monster that you ended up raised you better. That's your father figure. And he's just like, no, Gramps is Gramps. You're my father, Barum. I was just like, God damn it. I knew it was coming with all these episodes and their weird bonding, and I was just like, sure, fuck it, why not? And then it has a whole moment. It doesn't even have just the stereotypical, I'll live on in your heart. It literally has Barum's spirit going into Dai's body, into his heart.
Oh, that's so dumb.
And everything, and the Pop just being like, I know it's It's a whole dumb moment of this shit, and of them going, "What do we do now?" And everyone being like, "We need to go fight King Varn," and Pop being like, "No, why would we do that? Dai's father just died in front of him. He needs to mourn his father." And they're just like, "Don't let his death be a waste. He died so we could have this moment. If we leave now, his death will be in vain." And then Dai eventually going, "Pop, we're gonna fight them." And Pop going, "I understand it's hard, man. I've lost him. You don't understand, Pop. He's here with me now." And I'm just like, God damn it. This is so cringe.
Oh, dude, Dragon Quest, the adventure of cringe.
This all happened. And eventually, Varn just shows up. Him and his two cronies show up and just like, "I honestly didn't expect you all to get here. This ship wasn't supposed to show itself until you were all dead. So your reward, my two aren't gonna fight. It's just, this is your chance. It's just me and all of you." And then that's where it stops. It stops for him to about just smack the shit out of all of them.
This fucking show is literally a meme week after week, man.
I mean, it really is. It literally has this whole thing of, I could have accepted if it was just the whole Dai and Barum coming to realization that's his father, but it was then the whole fact that they had to have the argument of whether we're going to fight them or not, and literally Pop's the only one saying we don't need to fight, we need to let Dai mourn, and everyone else, and even Dai being like, "No, we got this." It's like it was such a pointless argument.
Oh, man. Dude, I honestly, you know, I'll be real. Listening to you talk about Dragon Quest week after week for the past 56 weeks now, basically.
Yeah.
Makes me almost feel kind of bad for never taking it off the script.
Yeah. I mean, it's just been 56 episodes straight. There's been like one recap episode in all these episodes, so.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, for any potential new listeners to the show here, the reason why Zach never stopped watching it, because, like, I watched the first episode, and that was kind of it. It was just on the script, so Zach just kept watching it because I kept putting it on the script, and now he's in too deep.
And he just kept telling you don't have to watch it. I was like, it's on the goddamn script. When you take it off the script, we'll get there. But then he didn't take it off until, consider take it off until we hit, like, episode 20, and I was like, we're committed at this point.
Man. You just, and also just listening to you talk about this show, you know, you've pointed this out before, man. You're right. Like, the age of this series really comes out with the shit.
Yeah, it most definitely does.
The age of the source material.
Some good points here and there, but at the time, it still doesn't age well. We have random shit that makes no sense, like this episode and the previous episode when Bara was pissed that Dai took a hit for him. And then Hadlar was confused as fuck why you just stabbed Dai.
Damn, dude. Also, let me take a hard left here. You know, talking about anime, but it's not an episode here. It's just this thought popped in my head because of things that don't necessarily age, that hasn't aged well.
Okay.
Did you see the announcement, like little trailer for this new Seven Deadly Sins movie?
No, I did not.
Okay, there's 2 new Seven Deadly Sins movies coming out. Okay, they're going to be shorter movies coming to Netflix. You know, they're going to be all CGI. There's a trailer for it. You know, I think I might have mentioned this to you. I don't remember.
You mentioned it.
Yeah. It looks like a video game. It looks like a Bandai Namco video game. So in terms, you know, my thought process here is like things that don't age well. I feel like the anime industry is really pushing towards this CGI thing because this new Dragon Ball movie is going to be all, you know, CGI. Do you think it's going to get to a point where CGI is just not going to really age well for this, or how you feel? Because I feel like it looks like shit. I will be upfront. It looks great if it was a video game up front, but me going to see an anime film and seeing the Seven Deadly Sins film on Netflix and it being all CGI, or seeing Dragon Ball Superhero, terrible name by the way, in theaters and it being all CGI, like I don't feel like that's going to age well, like, you know, 10 years from now or something. What are your thoughts on the potential that the anime industry is going all towards the CGI shit?
I mean, so it depends on the CGI they use, because even in anime now, we've noticed that there's like two or three different kinds of CGI. Like I can literally go watch an episode of Dragon Quest and I can see all types of CGI used because I've mentioned it before. And I mean, when it's like the real 3D polygon model, yeah, I don't think that would age very well. Traditional CGI, I think it might be okay, age-wise, because just traditional CGI usually stands up pretty well. This Bandai Namco CGI you're talking about, I'm not sure because I still haven't watched the trailer.
I'm telling you, just go check it out, man. Just go check out a picture. That's all you gotta do. Go look at a picture of Tristan. You'll be like, wow, yeah, that looks like a Bandai Namco video game.
I mean, if it's a Bandai Namco video game, it may not look the greatest, but it might age okay.
Right. I don't know. I will say I do have a fear that all anime is going to really transition to that sort of, style over the next 5 to 10 years. I feel like even just, the shows that we're watching and enjoying today, I feel like a majority of it's going to transition that way. I really hope it doesn't, man. I don't want this unless we can really, enhance how it's going to look, whatever. Because right now I do think it just looks like we're watching a video game in real time. That's what I feel like we're watching. And while I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing, because I mean, I don't think the graphic, like if it was a video game, it's like, yeah, looks like good graphics to me. But, at the same time, it's just like, I'm not playing a video game here. I want to watch an anime, and this is what I'm saying. I don't know. It looks weird to me. I guess it's just being stuck in my ways of what I've watched for the last 20 years of my life. And now we're getting this, and it's just like, it kind of scares me a little bit. Because the Dragon Ball Superhero Terrible Name movie, man, that trailer did not do a whole lot for me. And I feel the same way with the Seven Deadly Sins movie. Which also shot in the fact that I forgot Cursed by Light was a thing. I just saw it on Netflix the other day, and I'm like, I probably need to watch that, don't I? Hey, man, probably. I was, it's funny to talk about Seven Deadly Sins, and we'll move on. I finished watching Comey, and I was messing with my phone for a few minutes, and it went on like a screen where it's just like slowly flipping through pictures of different shows. Like, oh, you could watch this one. You could watch this one. It came up with the newest season of Seven Deadly Sins, and it's just like a still shot of all seven of the sins standing there like, hey, we're the Seven Deadly Sins. Like, look at the screen. And I look up and I see it. Dude, it looked like shit, even in the still shot. I'm just like, man, Bond's hair looks like literal polygons right now. Like, this looks so bad. And it just reminded me, I got like PTSD of this whole last season where I'm just like, oh God, that last season was so bad. I'm so glad it's over. Oh, anyway, now that we got that tangent out of the way, I guess, that little sidetrack, let's go to 86 and finish up with Platinum End. So I feel like Platinum End is going to be a good finish up here. First off, if you haven't checked out Anime Plus News and you don't watch 86 will be on a break this upcoming weekend. Big sad, especially with where we're going. Apparently it is because of production issues. I did report that Anime Plus News, so make sure to check that out every single Monday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. So with this episode, it was just a big buildup for this huge battle, this huge war that is about to kick off, and that's why it's like just a huge cock tease that we're having a break this weekend. There will be an episode posted, but it's going to be like some sort of what did they refer? Commentary episode. That's what it was. I will say the first like 2 minutes of this episode was top tier content, because you were getting to see the Legion attack the Republic, which was awesome, and you get to see the Republic just completely in shambles. You get to see our waifu here, as well as her friend still alive and kicking and trying to fight back by, you see a shit ton of dead processors. They're the juggernauts everywhere. You even see up on a sign of where the people within the Republic clearly did not want the 86 to be within the district, be within the walls, where it's like, go away 86, we don't want 86, whatever. Meanwhile, they're fighting for the country they don't give a shit about. The 86 are. So those first 2 minutes were awesome content. And then this episode gives us a kind of a fucked up little side story here for a minute, right? Because you get to see, it kind of shows some flashbacks of this previous fight that we had where Shin's, like, his dark side really kind of came out and stopped giving a shit. And then you find out why. It's because he got a letter from Eugene's little sister, basically calling him out and saying, you should have been the one to die, not my older brother. And it's just like, damn, that got dark, man. That got very, very dark. This is a little girl. We met her in like episode 2.
piece of shit because she was obviously like it's really awful just because of that thing, and it's all very obvious that she was affected by the blonde kid who he was never a fan of Shin anyway, so he probably straight up told her that Shin killed her brother and actually threw that hate onto him.
Yeah. And, you know, us getting to see that little flashback of like where he got the letter, literally, you know, because it was the moment in the previous episode or the episode before, I don't remember which one, right before that fight was about to start, you see Shin's hatch coming to a close and he gets that wicked smile. He gets that smile because he got that letter, and he's just like, he just kind of loses it. He kind of snaps a little bit, basically. And in this episode, he gets a second letter, and he was just about to open it, and then someone called him off. So it's just like, oh, shit, what was that letter about to say?
And then I think he did eventually read it at the end there.
Oh, at the end of this episode, did he?
Yeah, he did eventually read that after he got back from the meeting and everything.
Yeah, and I will say when it came to like going through the little flashback of everything that kind of happened, you do get a nice little moment where it's basically also Shin just kind of like admitting like, who cares if I die? It doesn't matter. You know, that's where you get a nice little like almost like flashback kind of moment or whatever with Lena, where she's like, I won't forget whatever, and you get to see Lena again, and almost like in his mind, basically, kind of talking to Lena in his head, which was a very nice moment to help set up some future stuff.
Yeah. And overall, it was just a nice episode. I mean, it revealed that the big bad for this one's a giant freaking artillery gun that's the size of a train.
Yep.
And that the 86 have been chosen to go be jettisoned into the center of it.
Yep.
And take it out.
Which is what we've seen in the opening for the show for this season.
Yeah,
you
where
see
it
that
shows
shot
them flying in.
Yep. Which, you know, that was probably I don't know. I did love the first 2 minutes, but this was probably my favorite part of this episode because meanwhile, while the 86 have been selected to do this, because even though this country claim that, you know, the empire claims to be so much different and they want to, you know, and there are people that legitimately want the 86 to live their life. There are. But at the same time, there are other people in the military where it's just like, if they die, you know, they die. You know, they're not really part of the empire. We just kind of took them in. And you know, there are those select few that are like that. But for the most part, the empire is like, you know, I mean, there were people that didn't want, you know, obviously their adopted father didn't want them to join the military, wanted them to go live a life, you know, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the way they look at it is like, you know, we could sacrifice our own people on this potential suicide mission, or the 86 that are like hella good at destroying the Legion. Like they're better than all of ours. So, you know, it could kind of work out, you know, because in that scene, you know, Shin basically, you know, it is now confirmed that the Empire is aware of Shin's ability. You know, they test it where it's like, go to the map, point out where the Legion are. It's like, okay, you got it all right, whatever. And what I love about this scene was while Gerda Wenzel, I think her name, we were trying to figure out her name before we started. She's sitting there arguing to this commander or whatever his position was about sending that squad to take care of this in the 86. And as is happening, Shin's just standing there, and it's like and that argument's kind of fading out in the background. The audio it's getting quiet, and you see all of the dead spearhead behind Shin. And they're talking to Shin, calling him, you know, his Reaper, their Reaper, whatever, basically thanking him, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, in this episode, it's just like, you know, even earlier on when they were having, you know, dinner, it's just like, you know, or having lunch, it's just like, you know, even here, we are still viewed as 86. That is how we are continue to be viewed. Another
thing from that same scene where that happens was when the general was telling them that they're going to lead the attack and that they were going to be calling them spearhead for this operation.
Yep. I did enjoy that little tidbit,
which was a nice touch of where right before he has that whole go back in the spirits of all the other previous processors being like, yeah, they're still treating us like shit. Yeah, nothing's changed basically. No, this was a very good episode, a very good setup episode that leaves you on such a tease because, you know, again, we don't have an episode this weekend. So big depressy there. Really looking forward to this big fight kicking off, man. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Speaking of phenomenal, how is Platinum End episode 6? I did not have time to watch it. So how was this? So previous episode left off with a body on the tower and more or less it going on about how Metropolitan has possibly given wings or an arrow to a serial killer.
Yep.
So it continues that on as a whole, and that it is in fact that he has given both an arrow, red arrow, and wings to this middle school serial killer girl who goes around killing other girls, and that she's been tasked specifically to kill ugly girls. Reason being why? Metropolitan's friend from the previous episode mentioned that if he could do anything, his wish would be to get rid of uglier girls. So he took that and got this girl to start doing that, to also use her to draw out any god candidates. And then there's a whole thing with I can never remember his name. Is it Mirai? Mirai. Him, Saki, and their new ally.
The guy with cancer.
What?
The guy with cancer.
Yeah.
Okay.
About how they needed to handle it, and if given the opportunity, would Mirai kill Metropolitan? And the cancer guy being like, we need to kill him. And Mirai more or less sort of breaking down because he could not convince himself in his head to be able to kill someone. Like the guy even gives him the scenario of if Metropolitan was going to shoot Saki and he had the chance to be able to shoot him before he shot Saki, would he be able to? And he goes into his head and sees this whole scenario playing, and just he can't get himself to shoot him with a red or white arrow to the point where he can't kill him, and actually shows him Metropolitan killing Saki because of his indecision. Yeah, like he cannot physically, mentally bring himself to kill a person regardless of how bad they are.
You want to know what that kind of reminds me of? And it's really, really random, but for some reason, the first thing that I kind of think of is almost like the same mentality of, like, let's say Aang had when it came to going up against Ozai, where it's just like he just basically refused to kill him, and he was trying to find every way possible to not kill him. I kind of feel like Mirai is kind of the same way here, but not on the obviously the level of Aang being a monk and everything, where all life is sacred. But I feel like we're going to potentially see the same sort of route here, where Mirai is going to try to find every way possible to not kill Metropolitan.
Well, it's not even that. It's literally just he acknowledges that Metropolitan needs to be stopped, but he cannot bring himself to kill another person, regardless of what it is. And then it has a whole thing where Metropolitan has shot that girl with a red arrow, the serial killer, and she straight up has shot another girl with a red arrow and has taken her to a room where they're more or less about to have sex. And because like the first scene it shows with her is she has stripped off the other girl's shirt and she's barely wearing anything. She, like herself, she's wearing a blouse that's barely covering herself. She's got nothing else on. And she ties up the other girl and murders her with a knife.
Brutal.
And then has her drop off the body at another at the same tower where the previous body was. And then just has her chill there. He has her shoot all the officers to take the body away and leave and not have anyone come up the tower. She just chills there under orders until Mirai and the cancer dude show up. Mirai's waiting in the wings and waiting for Metropolitan to show up to be able to shoot him with a red arrow. And then cancer dude confronts the girl, asking what she's doing on the tower and everything, and her just going, "Oh, I was told to wait here. Metropolitan's supposed to show up. I was told if another candidate showed up, I need to stay with them." And him just going, "What?" And then because the whole episode is them trying to perceive what Metropolitan's move's going to be, and every time Metropolitan thinks a step ahead, because it ends with him having rigged the tower and blowing up both the girl and the cancer dude.
Oh shit! Okay.
Chilling there. He just straight up blows the top of the tower up.
Metropolitan does.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's how it ends.
Also, I'm assuming because you didn't mention it, we have not met Cancer Dude's angel yet, right?
Oh no, it references her because whenever he introduces himself, he says he was met by.
Yeah, I remember that. I just didn't know, like, has she reappeared yet, like, in present time, not just in that flashback?
Yeah, no, she shows up actually in
Okay.
this episode whenever he goes back to Saki and Mirai he brings them guns to be able to fight regardless if they can use arrows, and his angel shows up too.
Oh, okay.
And there's sort of a fiction between Mirai and this guy, because when the guy brings the guns, Mirai straight up asks him, is it okay to make teenagers murderers and killers? Or criminals and murderers?
Looking forward to checking this episode out, and honestly, just the rest of the season. For the new shows that's come out this season so far, new shows, so 86 is not counting here. Is Platinum End, in your opinion, the best one so far, or do you think it's Takt Op?
Honestly, if I had to choose out of what's airing, what?
I was thinking about this question as we were talking about Takt Op. I'm like, I wonder which one he thinks is better.
I mean, out of the ones we're watching, probably Platinum End, out of what's actually come out and I've been watching, I would actually say the Assassin one.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Platinum End is definitely my favorite new one so far, followed by probably Takt Op. Sakugan's pretty solid though, and I don't know. I do like Komi quite a bit. So I'd have to really think about that. What was your favorite episode of the week? Mine's just gonna be 86. 86 is great.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say 86. 86 was overall very good.
And with how they're going with Demon Slayer, you know, I'm gonna keep watching it, but it's just like, come on, give me a little something new, please. I'm basically wasting.
The theater district, it's not much.
Yeah, I know. I will say I cannot wait for that arc. Like here, and just we're less than a month away. We are less than a month away. December 4th, I believe, is when it kicks off. So, let me actually fact check that. Let's see, because it should just be Sunday, I think. December 5th. December 5th. Shout out to Davin, friend of ours. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Davin. Happy early birthday, Davin. Hope you well. That day, that arc will begin. So really excited for that. But yeah, 86 is my favorite. Really solid there. Let's go to our chapter ratings for the week. Finish off the subject beautifully, which does include the finale of Red Hood. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. We're about to get the Yashahime kicking off this Sunday, which is, of course, by the creator of Hell's Paradise. For anyone that does not know of what Hell's Paradise is basically a series that opened the door for series that we love today, like Spy Family, Dan and Dan, and Kaiju Number 8 when it comes to Jump Plus. Hell's Paradise was all those series before those series were a thing. Being a very popular series over at Jump Plus that really paved the way for everything else. And so when this series, Yashahime, I believe is how you're pronouncing it. I could be very wrong on that. I've been wrong before on these names. We know this. When everyone saw the creator, everyone got big pumped. Big pumped because they kind of viewed it the same thing as like Fujimoto when he went from Fire Punch, pretty popular series that, was kind of like had its cult following sort of thing, in terms of popularity, to getting his big shot with Chainsaw Man. So I've noticed a lot of people relating it to that, where everyone is very excited for this series to kick off. I know they already launched an official Twitter for it. I mean,
oh, nice.
So I think this is about to get the same level of push as Elusive Samurai did. They already launched a Twitter for it, and it even before the first chapter, I noticed it already had like 2,000 followers. So I think this is going to get an Elusive Samurai level push. And then we do have 2 more series that are set to come out over the next couple weeks, because we know Neru is officially ending this weekend. The final chapter of Neru is happening. Fuck you, Zach. About time you get a loss.
It still lasted longer than yours.
It's about time that you get a loss. We know that's ending, and then we know another series is, there's 3 series starting. So the big question is, what else is being cut? Is it going to be potentially be P6 even before Volume 1 comes out? Because I've heard P6 is not being taken well. I still think it's going to be High School Family, man. I saw the early numbers for this latest volume. Dude, it only sold 4K. Like, come on.
That's Kubo bought like 3 of those.
I know it's got the Kubo seal of approval, okay? I'm very aware of that. But, man, I'm telling you, High School Family or Magu-chan or P6, I think is going to be the one to get cut, personally. But I
like how we don't even put Roboco on that list anymore just because of how much of a meme it is to survive.
It is, dude. It is. Like, the sales are okay. I mean, it'll sell over 20K a volume. That's not bad. It's on the lower. It's on the lower end, yes, but it's not bad as a whole. But it's also just because the meme, like it has such a strong cult following right now that I don't think it's gonna go away. But Neru, Red Hood, and the latest High School Family Man, like 4K a piece. I think Neru actually only sold 3K. Like, that's bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So anyway, let's hop into the ratings. I'll kick things off with One Piece 1031. I'd give this one an 8. Actually, this one was a nice little Sanji chapter. I like the ending of it here. What about My Hero Academia 332?
I'll give it an 8.
I give it an 8, but next chapter, it sounds pretty dope. I haven't actually checked it out yet, but I've read the synopsis. It sounds pretty dope. Black Clover 312.
I'll give it a 7 just because of the end shot.
The end shot was really nice. I'll give it a 7 as well. Dr. Stone 217.
Yeah. 6.
5. Mission Yozakura Family 105. Probably an 8. Undead Unluck 86. Probably an 8. Beyblade saves the world. Beyblade saves. Yeah, JJK. Sorry, JJK 164.
I'll give it an 8.
I give it an 8 as well. Mashle 84.
I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, 8. Sakamoto Days 46.
I'll give it a 9.
I'll give it a 9 as well. I love that ending. Why can't I slim down?
Yeah. That is the best thing of just, why can't I slim down, and everyone going, we're not going to see Slim Moto?
No. What about Blue Box Chapter 28?
I'll give it an 8.
8.
I enjoyed it.
How'd you feel about the finale of Red Hood?
Friggin' show-ass series. I mean, it ended on a fucking fantastic way.
Yep.
I'm only gonna give it a 6 personally, though.
I'm gonna give it another high rating just because I really, really respect the full blown fucking approach. Yeah, because I mean, really, for anyone that has not read Red Hood, and obviously you're not going to read it because it's now ending and there's nothing going to come out of it. But I'm not kidding. This ending was the best example of the creator just not giving a fuck and said, all right, whatever, my series is ending. Let's blow everything up.
Like, fucking with meta as hell, too.
Yeah, so I'm going to give it an 8 just because I really do respect the ending. What about Neru 17?
I'll give it a 6. I mean, it's sort of, it's going in a weird spot, but yeah.
I give it a 5. I've officially dropped P6 off the rating board. I'm assuming you stopped reading it as well.
No, I've been reading it.
No? Okay. Well, do you want to rate it?
It was a 7.
Okay. Which also, another one that I dropped, Witch Watch. Do you want to rate Witch Watch? Are you reading it or are you dropping it? Because I dropped it again.
I don't know what to expect from Witch Watch.
Okay.
I would give it a 5 because it's gone back onto its one-shots of bullshit.
When you started to laugh just then, I thought you were about to pull some bullshit where it's just like, Alex, it got good again.
If it did again, that would have been fucking hilarious.
Maybe I just need to stop it, period, if that's the case.
Yeah, Samurai, 39.
Yep. Samurai, I would probably give this one probably a 7.
I'd give it a 7 as well.
My Hero Vigilante.
Actually, no, I'm gonna give it an 8 because of the fucking weird guy of just going, okay, we'll leave a trail of ears and eyeballs for you to follow.
My Hero Vigilantes 113. I'd probably give this one a 7. Kaiju number 8, chapter 49.
I'll give it an 8.
I give it an 8 as well. Dan 31, probably just a 7. All right, hopping over to Weekly Shonen Magazine stuff. I do want to give a very special shout out. Shout out and rest in peace and moment of silence for the site that I've been reading most of these series from, because out of nowhere they just decided to kill the website. Like, I went to go load up the chapter for Tokyo Avengers, and it's like, oh no, the page can't be loaded. And there's like a button where it's like back to safety. I'm like, whatever, it failed at loading. Let's get back to the main page. Take it back to the main page. It's just like, we have decided to close the website, whatever, blah, blah. I'm just like, no, you were the most secure website for me to read some of these series. So, moment of silence. Moments pass. So I had to quickly find another website that did not horribly blow up my phone with pop-ups. Still working on that, but I found something that at least worked for today. So Fire Force 290, I'd probably give it an 8. Man, the ending that we got for this chapter, I just can't. I don't know if I can buy in that was real. I'll say that. It does involve a pretty major character potentially getting fucked. Now, granted, we already had one major character that got fucked a while ago, and that character is gone. But I find it difficult to believe this character is gone, especially the way that he would go out. I don't know. We'll see, but I'll give it an 8. Tokyo Avengers 230.
7.
7 as well. Eden 0 166. I didn't get a chance to read it, man.
Fuck, man.
Oh no. I did read 165. I saw what you were talking about. So what happens? Where do we go? Just give me a rating.
I think he finally was willing to give up a character.
No! No! The one time I don't want him to do this. The one time.
Like it's a pretty fucking aftermath chapter of just all the characters sort of having to deal with it. Even having a moment between Shiki and Rebecca, and just Rebecca fucks herself up a bit trying to do something, but
the one time I did not want him to pull a normal Hiro Mashima, and here we are. Moment of silence. Moments pass. That's upsetting. What would you rate it?
8.
Okay. To Your Eternity, did 152 come out, or was it another like point something? I didn't get to read this one either.
It was 151.5, but I never got to read it because it wouldn't load on fucking Crunchyroll. It would just kept telling me 404 page can't be found.
Man, Crunchyroll's been kind of fucking up recently. I mean, it's always been a dog shit manga reading site as it is. It's terrible. It's the worst one out there. But it's the only official source for some of these. Same thing. I didn't get to read Seven Deadly Sins because Crunchyroll's just fucking up. Ranger Reject, chapter 28. Give this one a 7. Did find another site for that one, but yeah, Crunchyroll's eating ass right now, man. They need to get their shit together. I know they won't, but I wish they would. Hopping over to Webtoons, which also shout out, like, I feel like sometime like this month or next month we should be getting God of High School back, right?
Sure.
I thought it was like November, December. God of High School was coming back.
I think that's what they said, but I mean, I'm still waiting for Unordinary to come back too. So
yeah, I'm waiting for God of High School, Unordinary, and Down to Earth, and Shooter Armor. They're the 4 that I'm reading that are all on a current little break. But anyway, Soul Leveling 173. 9. I'm giving this one a 9, baby. Loved it.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I fully read this chapter now. I'm trying to think of whatever. I remember that he starts fighting.
He takes him to the castle.
Right.
And then he pointed out, he's like, "Is that your castle?" And it's just like, he's back there and kind of like in a cartoony way. He's just like, ... Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it a 9.
8.
Yeah, it was dope. Weak Hero 163.
I will give it an 8.
I give it an 8. Love that ending. Love that ending.
Great. I'm just great and recognizing who he just saw.
Yeah. What about Elseed 1? It is 143, right? I did get that right?
Yes.
Okay. 143. What would you rate it?
I'd give it a 7.
Okay. I read a Weak Hero. Yeah, 8. What was your favorite chapter of the week? I'm gonna go Solo Leveling.
I'm gonna go Sakamoto.
I did notice on Webtoon a couple other series that I'm reading also get that 4-chapter treatment that you talked about with Elseed.
Yeah, it was weird. It was only some series. Mm-hmm. It was sporadic.
True Beauty was one. It has got 4 chapters dropped out of nowhere. And also, hello, surprise for anyone listening to the show normally. I do read True Beauty. Great read. Enjoy that.
The one thing I really saw that was interesting through Webtoon was that Lore Olympus got an actual whole book.
Really?
Yeah, no, they've been advertising on the banners that Lore Olympus got a whole actual book. Not like just like a manga volume, but like a novel version of it.
Oh, okay. That's pretty hype. It is set to get an animated series sometime in the future. I think by Netflix, I remember right. Am I remembering that right? Okay, cool. Lore Olympus is one that I read like the first 2 chapters for, and I always meant to go back and pick it back up, and I never have. I need to sooner or later, because like if you go look at Webtoon and look at like the top like popular romance,
it's Lore Olympus.
It's Lore Olympus every time, and it's usually in the top series. And
Yeah.
it's funny, like when it comes to the romance, if you go look at all the top romance, like the top 10 and stuff, I'm reading almost every single one of them except for Lore Olympus. It's like the only one that I haven't hit yet. Everything else on there, it's just like, oh, yep, True Beauty, yep, checking that one off. Oh, Age Matters, and that was going on. Yep, I was reading that one. Down to Earth, up, yep, reading that one. Let's Play, yep, reading that one. Mage and Demon Queen, definitely reading that one. So it's, yeah, Lore Olympus is the only one that I have not checked out. Anyway, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Zach, do you got any last thoughts on anything that we talked about? Anything else in the anime industry that you want to shout out, or just any last thoughts in general?
No, I don't really think I got anything. You got anything?
Shout out to the Naruto Fortnite collab finally becoming a thing.
All right, that was the thing that came out. Yeah,
I love that those pictures now are going around where it's like it's like one of the in shots from the Storm 4 fight of Naruto and Sasuke, where it's like they're all beaten up, and it's the meme where it's just like, I may be out of chakra, but I'm not out of options, and Naruto pulls out a gun. That meme has been filtered so hardcore because of Fortnite. But yeah, that's a thing. So get ready to see, people running around as Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi on Fortnite.
Oh, I guess for reference, I mean, for anyone who may have missed it, Riot's Arcane came out.
Okay, yeah, I am so debating if I'm about to hop into that or not, because I've been checking out some stuff on it. It looks super clean, and I was looking for something to watch the other day.
It does look clean, like all the trailers and everything, and then because it's also been streaming, because they've been allowing people have been watching it on stream and Twitch, but it's on Netflix is the platform that is actually on.
Yep.
I've been meaning to watch it at some point, so.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about that if we wanted to check it out and talk about it on the show, because that is one that's in my radar for sure. I also noticed, and I thought this was kind of interesting, because it's like they've gone back and they've changed their initial plan, because we got JoJo Part 6 coming out soon, and originally it was kind of being talked about where it was going to be like just a one big like monthly drop of episodes every month, and then they kind of pulled back on that. And now the official announcement is going to like drop sometime beginning of December with 12 episodes only, and then more is going to come later. I just find it interesting that they're doing that, because like Komi, for example, it was delayed for us. It's not delayed over in Japan. They're ahead in Japan by like 3 or 4 episodes, but Komi's being released weekly. Every week, one episode's dropping. So I don't know. Netflix is like in such a weird place right now.
Still trying to figure out what the hell they're doing with animation.
I know, man, and I wish they would just get their shit together and just. I honestly just wish they would just go to a weekly cycle. I really do. While I do enjoy to a point just kicking back, once on a blue moon and just binge watching some anime episodes, I do enjoy that on occasion. Man, I'm an adult. I don't have time for shit like that all the time. Like, give me the one episode a week. That's not bad. Hit that one episode, maybe hit another episode of a couple other shows. I'm good. But once you drop like 20 something episodes on me at once, I'm like, all right, well, this will get done in like 3 months. I don't have time to sit here and watch every episode. Every once in a while I do. Every once in a while a show will come out where I have to check out every episode immediately. But for the most part, no, not so much. That's a time consuming thing there. Okay. I don't have time for that. We have jobs and shit. We have a life we're trying to live, other things to do. I have video games that I would like to play. So I wish Netflix would figure it out though. I really do, especially if they're going to keep picking up properties. Like, what are they going to do with Chainsaw Man? We still have no idea.
Yeah, we still have no clue.
Which,
other than the trailers map was put out, that's all we've gotten.
Which it's funny, because that was supposed to come out this year. Shit, it's not. No way. Unless they just pop it out of nowhere, like, oh, it's coming out in December. No way that's coming out.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. No chance. No chance it's coming out. So I don't know. Especially, I will say, with some of these series that we know are going to be poised to get animes within, like, let's say next year for sure, more than likely, and even the year after, I am kind of scared of Netflix in this situation. Like, let's say like Mashle is a great example. Mashle's poised for an anime. Like, is Netflix going to grab that up? Because it's got a lot of popularity going behind it.
I mean, one that's really worrying that is been announced is Spy Family. Is Netflix going to try and get the Western license for that?
I know, man. I am afraid for some of these. Well, I don't know. I think Spy Family might be going to Crunchyroll. I think that one's set for Crunchyroll.
Is it? Okay.
I don't think it's like a Crunchyroll like only sort of thing like some other shows, but I do think it is set to go to Crunchyroll.
Considering Crunchyroll and Funimation's under the same umbrella now, so.
Right. You're right. Yeah, true. So no, you're right there too. And other series, like Kaiju number 8 would be another one. Like, when the time comes for that, who's going to grab it? because I feel like Netflix could sneak in and take that one. So I wish Netflix would figure their shit out. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get out of here. Zach, any last thoughts?
Like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. It does help. If you are watching this on YouTube and you like what we're doing, you can hit that subscribe button. And if you really like what's going on, you can then hit the notification bell, and it'll let you know anytime any one of our videos come up, whether it be anime, news, lighthearted, terrible football, any of our wonderful shows we do. And you can do that at youtube.com/Sparky3.
Thank you, Zach. Do everything that he said and more, and we would definitely appreciate that. And with that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you made it all the way to the end. If you are, you're an absolute legend. Comment down below your thoughts on any of these shows that we're watching currently, and also comment down below any thoughts on the CGI conversation that we had earlier, as well as even the Netflix conversation we just had. Does Netflix worry you in the anime industry with some other big shows set to come out over the near future? We'd love to hear from you. Any feedback possible is appreciated. Give us a follow at Twitter. That's it. Till next time, guys. Have a good one. See you.
Bye.